one issue. If you are a poultry farmer and you want to go into poultry feed formulation, there is something you should always bear in your mind. That is, one, what is the nutritional content of all the ingredients I want to make use of? What are the nutritional values of the ingredients I want to make use of? One, you should consider the protein content of that particular ingredient. The protein in that ingredient determines the quality of the meat you get, because it is the protein that builds up the body structure of the livestock, most especially poultry. When we are talking about poultry, you are talking about all the poultry birds, all the feather birds: turkey, geese, duck, guinea fowl, ostrich, peacock, quails, and the rest of them, even fish and rabbits. They are all included in livestock. Goats, cow, sheep, and rest of them. All these livestock animals use almost the same feed ingredients. What is different in them is the feed formula. That is all. So if you are going into feed formulation, consider the protein, consider the fat, consider the fiber, consider the minerals and vitamins. These are the things you need to know. What is the protein content of this particular product I want to use? What is the fat content? What is the metabolizable energy? What is the minerals and vitamin content of this particular product? Most especially crude fiber, fat, protein, and metabolizable energy is the major 4 areas you need to consider first, because all these plants, all these ingredients have at least little quantity of minerals and vitamins in them. But the major issue there is crude protein. That is what you needed. So if you are formulating any feed by yourself, consider this crude protein, most especially. And if you don't have the equipment to produce your own feed, what you want to adulterate the market feed, you want to bring in the market feed and amend it so that it will be enough to feed your poultry birds. What you need to consider is whatever nutritional ingredients you want to add should be higher than that of the market one, especially if you are going for finisher. Finisher is mostly between 18 to 20% crude protein. Is it grower? Grower is between 16 to 18% crude protein. Is it starter? Starter is between 20 to 23% crude protein. Whatever ingredient you want to add now to adulterate that commercial feed should be a higher value, so that when you adulterate it, when you mix it, you know that you are not going to fall short of the ingredients or the nutritional content you require. If not, your birds will do what? Start deteriorating. They'll start coming down. Somebody called me. He said that he separated birds, kept one, and used his own feed formulation or feed formula to be feeding them, and he discovered that the market own is growing further. I said yes. I said, what ingredients do you use? When he mentioned the ingredients he used, I discovered that most of those ingredients contains mostly fiber, not protein. You are looking for protein when you want to add weight, you want to add body structure, you want to add size, you want to add growth. What you're looking for is protein. It's protein that make both livestock, even human beings, grow fat. If you eat proteinous food, you grow huge body, huge muscle. But when you are eating fiber will always make you to go to your restroom always. And what are you going to the restroom to do? You start coming down. That is what it means. So considering feed formulation, you are looking for what? Protein and fat. That particular ingredient you want to add, assuming you want to adulterate the market feed, should be of higher value. Assuming you want to use fish meal with higher or very rich in protein, so that when you mix it with the commercial feed and the local ingredients you gather, it will still be enough. If you don't have any feed formula or you don't have idea of feed formula, but I wonder why you will not have idea of feed formula when I have now brought us myself as a sacrificial lamb to teach you This is free. You are not paying anything. The network is not paying me. The app is not paying me. Nobody's paying me. No government is paying me. But I want to teach you free. So bring out your time. Bring out your time and learn it. So you need to know how to formulate, because all the ingredients the person mentioned, most of them are mostly fiber. I don't see any. Even the little protein they have is less than 5%. You are talking about no. You are talking about high proteinous ingredients. These ingredients are something you can locate within your household. So when you are going for them, go for the one that has high value, so that when you mix it with other ones, even if it's coming low, it will not come below the market own. That's why you are having low decent growth rate in your poultry, the ones you want to use your own feed to produce. Now, the important issue I want to go into now is moringa. I have the moringa leaf here. You can see this is moringa leaf. I don't know whether you have seen this. This is moringa leaf. You see it, please. This is leaf. Everything concerning moringa is very rich. Moringa is rich in both medicinal and rich in ingredients. You know moringa. Why I always like to teach you with raw materials is so that you know that this is what I practice and this is what I use. I don't go and scan pictures on social media to show you. You see it, I'm showing you live. I'm here. See me and this leaf. And this leaf I pluck it from my farm there. So this is dry season now. Most of them are going down. That's why I said the moringa leaf. This moringa leaf is what I'm going to treat for you now. I'm going to treat this moringa leaf, this moringa seed, and moringa oil. Then I'll go to neem leaf, neem seed, and neem oil, so that at the end you will now know how to boost your poultry beds with these two crops I'm mentioning here now. These crops are very common. If you should have them in your area. If you don't have them, check your mosque. Most of the mosques, most of the churches, most of the schools, this is what they use to plant. Especially those tree planting days, that's what they plant in most of all these areas. Most of the time they cut them off. They cut the leaves off when the thing overgrow, and you should have it within your neighborhood. So that's why I want to make sure we treat this today. Now, moringa leaf is very rich in nutrients. It is a source of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, and vitamin E. It has minerals like calcium, potassium, iron, and it has amino acid. These nutrients contribute to the overall health and well-being of the poultry and livestock animals. When I mention livestock, it's not only poultry birds that is that need this. All the livestock animals, as I mentioned them earlier, goat, dog, geese, guinea, all of them can prevent a lot of diseases and infections in poultry. It has anti-inflammatory properties also. It reduces inflammation in poultry also. It's a growth booster. It grows the growth of poultry birds like broilers. It will fortify your broilers to have a very solid muscle. It also gives your egg laying birds the energy and the strength to lay very big egg for you. It is very at the same time. It aids in growth, it promotes growth, it boosts the immunity. In fact, if you want to go organic, this moringa is one of the first plants you should ever consider. This is one of the first plants you should ever consider to supplement even protein. It has protein. The seed itself has fat. The moringa oil has very rich 100% oil, fat, which is fat, that helps you to build strong energy and muscles in your poultry and livestock animals. One, it has vitamins. It has vitamin A, that is beta carotene. It has vitamin B, thiamine. It has vitamin B1, B2, B3, B6, B7, even vitamin C, which is biotin. It has ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. It has vitamin D. It has vitamin E. That is alpha tocopherol and vitamin K. These nutrients contribute to the overall nutrient composition of your poultry beds. It has minerals like calcium, it has potassium, it has selenium and manganese. All these are very essential for the growth of how important this particular leaf. You can see it again. moringa leaf. If you don't know it by name, at least you have seen it. You have seen it here now. See it very well, clearly. That is the moringa leaf. Anywhere you see it, please recognize it. It's a very, very good and, in short, inevitable plant you can use in your poultry production. Please don't overlook it, please. And that one you are going in is the moringa seed. Moringa seed is the second one. Moringa seed is also good. Moringa seed is a very rich nutrient provider for poultry and livestock. Most especially in poultry, it provides vitamins and minerals. It has the potential of antibacterial and other properties that fight bacteria in poultry. That is the moringa seed. It's a very tiny seed. I have it here. It's very small. Let me keep it. It's also an immune booster. It supports the immune system. It boosts the immunity of your poultry birds when you use it in feed formulation. At the end, I'm going to give you the dosage of when you're administering them. I'm going to give you the dosage you're going to use. Let's discuss them first. At the same time, it helps in growth. It promotes growth. It increases the weight gain and also the efficiency at which they convert the feed they eat. This seed is very small. It's a tiny seed, but it works wonderful. It works wonders in your poultry production. The seed can be inculcated, can be added in your poultry feed formulation. If you have it in large quantity, you can use it to supplement even peanut or even soya bean. It can work very well. If you have it in your area, you can use it completely 100% without adding soya bean or peanut at all. It has nutritional values that cannot be avoided, that cannot be excluded. For example, it's very rich in protein, highly rich in protein. It has almost 60% crude protein. This particular seed, I'm telling you, when you have a seed that has almost 60% crude protein and you are formulating a feed that you needed up to 18 to 23% protein, you see that this is a very good option for you. Now, it's very high in healthy fat that can be used to livestock animals. Very good source of fiber also. Fiber helps in digestion, food digestion and food conversion also. It has antioxidants which combats oxidation stress. It helps them to exclude stress, to avoid stress during what? Feed conversion. You say when birds or any animal have eaten, there's a stress to digest that feed and oxidate it in their body is another thing. But this particular seed helps them to oxidate it and at the same time to convert it at the same time also. Another one, it has calcium, it has phosphorus, it has magnesium, it has sodium, iron, zinc, copper, it has magnesium and selenium. It also has vitamins A, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, that is niacin, riboflavin, thiamine, beta carotene. It has other vitamins now. Can you imagine how important it is in your poultry feed formulation at the same time? And also, it has medicinal values, very rich medicinal values that can help you to boost the immune system of your poultry birds to avoid or to help them to overcome microorganic hazards, viral attacks from Gomboro, from Newcastle, from infectious coryza, CRUD, E. coli, and rest of them. When their immunity is very strong, all these diseases will be away from them. In fact, you have a very free rearing stage that you don't even spend any kobo in your medication. This is why organic poultry is very good. If you start organic poultry, to be honest with you, drugs and labels of drugs will be far from you. How much they sell drug, I don't know how much they sell medications in the market again because of organic poultry farming. Organic poultry farming is even cheap in the sense that most of this extract is something you can even go to your neighbor and pluck. Assuming they have it, you just go to them and pluck it without asking for it. They will collect money from you. But if it is the medication that you buy from the market, I don't know the market you go and they give it to you free. You must certainly pay for it. So, but this extract is something you can go. I don't think you can go to your neighbor. Neighbor, please, I want to pluck this this leaf. Unless you are not in good terms, they will grant you the permission to get it without any problem, without any issue. So that is why organic is very good. So now let me go down to I've discussed the moringa leaf. I've discussed the moringa seed. Now let me briefly discuss the moringa oil. Moringa oil is a very good source of healthy fat for your fire. That's fat. That is either extract that is helped or that is used in poultry feed formulation. It has protein. It's very rich in protein, up to 60% crude protein. When you are using a 60% crude protein, it means you can completely remove peanuts or even soya bean and use that seed when crushed and remove the oil. You remove the oil and use the oil as a fatty ingredient in your poultry feed. Moringa oil also, it's used to do what? It's also used to fortify your feed. It also serves as medicinal in your poultry bed. It helps in their skin, that is their feather configuration. It helps in feather growth. This particular oil, I will not dwell much on it because it's not always common to get the moringa oil. But this is some of the things it does in poultry. For that reason, now let me quietly go into the next topic. That is the neem. That is the neem. Neem. That is the neem. Neem. Let me go into the neem. Neem. I have discussed about this particular leaf here. This is the neem leaf. I have discussed about it. I have discussed about it. I have discussed about this neem. You can see the leaf. I always show you live one. See it. This is leaf. This particular leaf is air dried now. It's air dried. You can see it. It's air dried, not sun dried. This is to preserve it for use throughout this dry season. You don't dry it under the sun. You dry it with air. Air will dry it for you to safeguard it so it will not decay. Let me keep it. Now, what are the values? What do you use the leaf? What do you use the leaf to do? Neem leaf. Neem leaf have very strong medicinal value. Neem leaf helps to fight or to manage or even to cure bacterial infections like coccidiosis, diarrhea. It also helps to fight ecto and endoparasites like the worm and the lice. The neem leaf helps also to safeguard your poultry from odor. If you are having a poultry that is smelling, that has offensive odor, that even your neighbors are worried about it, if you are giving them this neem leaf extract once in a week, their poop or their droppings will not smell any longer. Mostly, you are using neem leaf, scent leaf, bitter leaf, and this moringa. You hardly see any offensive odor in your poultry pen. But what I'm discussing here now is the neem leaf. Neem leaf have strong antimicrobial element. It has very strong anti-inflammatory properties. It also helps to boost the immunity of your poultry bed, make them to become strong to fight any adverse effect, any viral, any bacteria can hardly attack them once you are using this particular leaf to rear your poultry bed. It is very easy and it's very easy and simple to get. You see this, you can easily pluck it. This particular one you are seeing here now can have, you can see the seed here. I'm coming to the seed. You can see the seed. You see the seed? Are you seeing the seed? This one has the seed. That's why I show you the one that has this. This is the seed. I'm coming to the seed now. You see the seed also. See it here. Now, see it? That is the moringa. That is the neem leaf. You see the seed? Now, let me go to the seed. You can see large quantity of the seed here. You can see it here. See it? This is the neem seed. This neem seed is very, very good. Neem seed, very good. Neem seed has very good medicinal value. You can use it. The, the seed itself has oil in it. But let me talk about the seed itself. As you can see it, this is the seed. See the seed? See it? This is the seed coat. You can see the main seed itself. See the main seed? This is the main seed. Now you can see it. This seed has medicinal values in poultry. The oil from the seed, if extracted, has also medicinal value. It has vitamins also. It has vitamin A, it has vitamin B1, B2, B3, it has vitamin C, it has vitamin E. All these vitamins, iron, zinc, copper, magnesium, selenium, and manganese, all these are also contained in this particular seed you are seeing here. See it? Are you seeing it? Now, this handful of this seed, as you're seeing it, a handful of it like this, if you prepare it, can give you, can handle completely up to 100 birds, and to make sure that they are cured of any bacterial infection like coccidiosis. This neem leaf will handle it completely. Any intestinal tract infections, it can handle it. But I will later go into the infections they can cure and the dosage. But this, what I'm treating here, is their medicinal and nutritional value for now. So now, what are the work of all the vitamins we have been mentioning that this moringa seed can do? What are the work in poultry? What is the significance in poultry? One, the calcium. The calcium helps in the bone and egg formation. If you are having a poultry bed that is laying for you, the calcium, which is derived from this moringa, and at the same time the neem, helps in their bone, to make their bone strong and to make your egg shell very strong. You will not have deformed eggshell any longer if you are using them. It also supplies phosphorus. Phosphorus helps in bone development. It helps in energy metabolism and nutrient utilization in poultry and livestock birth. The magnesium that which we derive from it also support enzyme functions, the muscles function, and the bone development. The potassium also helps to maintain electrolyte balance and support muscle function in and their nerve transmission in poultry and livestock birds. It has sodium, which regulate the water balance, nerve transmission, and muscle function in poultry and livestock birds. It has iron, which is a very crucial or very important in oxidation of and transportation of hemoglobin, that is the blood cells. It helps in transport of the blood from one cell to another, from one nerve to another, to blood movement in the body of livestock animals, which make them healthy. That is what the work of the iron. It has zinc also, which support immune function or immune system and enzyme activities, and also help in healing any injury. Assuming they encounter or have any injury, this particular zinc, which is derived from this, help to heal that wound quickly. Another one, it has copper, which is essential for iron metabolism. It also has a connective tissue function and enzyme activities in the poultry and livestock birds. It has magnesium, which involved in bone formation, blood clotting, and enzyme activations in poultry also. It has selenium also, which acts as an antioxidant in poultry bird, which help to support the food and oxidation of the food, and at the same time give them energy to convert the feed to flesh. That's why most of the times when you're talking about feed, you have given feed, if that feed have not been converted to give them flesh, it has no value at all. There's no value in it. It needs to be converted. That's what you need. If it's a lot from morning till night and that feed is not converted, that feed has nothing to do with their body. So feed conversion is very important. So another one is the vitamins. We have talked about the minerals, the vitamins, which the moringa seed and the neem seed supplies. One, vitamin A, which is a beta carotene, which helps in vision, the eye, You see that most of these birds, even in the night, you put food for them, even without light, they will trace where the food is and be eating. It helps in their skin and also boosts their immunity. This is very, very important. This is the work of this vitamin A. Another one is vitamin B1, which is thiamine. It supports energy, metabolism, and nerve function in poultry and livestock pets. Please, if you have any question, drop your question on the comment section while I'm still teaching. It has vitamin B2, which is riboflavin. Riboflavin is important for growth, energy production, and further development of poultry and livestock bird. If you have a livestock animal that have four legs, this B2 helps in their some animals, four-legged animals. If they are not skin and draw it, you just see the skin coming out. But if they are healthy, you hardly see it like that. Another one is vitamin C and also overall growth. Has vitamin B6, which is that is a pyridoxine. Pyridoxine is involved in amino acid metabolism and the immune function of a poultry and livestock animal. You can see how important all these vitamins, like vitamin B7, which is biotin, which support further development and overall growth of the livestock at the same time. Vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, which also help in antioxidant. It's an and helps as immune function. Its immune system boosts the immunity, makes them boost everything that concerns their body structure to fight against infections and diseases. This particular vitamin C is very good. It's also derived from all these um, seed and this neem seed and the moringa seed also. They are one of the major sources, one of the major elements with antioxidant support immune function, protect the cell membrane, and the vitamin K also, which is also derived from there, help in blood clotting and bone metabolism. You can see how important all these things are. That they are something that we cannot avoid. We cannot even look. We cannot even just say we can't do without. We can do without them. It's not possible because they are very good source of vitamins. They are very good source of minerals. They are very good medicinal. They have strong medicinal values that are rich. That's something that we cannot just overlook like that. So you need to look for them wherever they are and make them friends. In fact, they are very good for us. Another one is what infections can all these things cure? I know that at the end, people will ask me a question: what infections can they cure in poultry? Which infection can they cure? Now, both this moringa, everything concerning moringa, both the seed and the oil, neem seed, neem leaf, and neem oil, all of them have very strong medicinal value, and they have vitamins and minerals, which I've ever mentioned here. You can see now that the medicinal value of them is what I'm going to discuss right now. They have almost similar medicinal value. That's why I combined the two of them together to give me 6 different topics: leaf, seed, and oil. Leaf, seed, and oil for the two. Now, they can fight bacterial infections like salmonella, diarrhea, E. coli, gastrointestinal tract infections, coccidiosis. This neem, both neem seed, the leaf, and the oil can fight it. Now you have fungi infections, that is skin infections, anything that has to touch with their skin, their body. This seed, this moringa seed and moringa leaf, including the neem seed and neem leaf, can fight it very well. The oil is mostly a fatty source for poultry feed. The oil, I'll see before I end this particular section, I will still tell you what the oil can, that is the neem oil can do in poultry pen also. It's very good source of protection to your poultry conditions in poultry and livestock. It helps to a general immune support to all the poultry and livestock birds. You can see it gives them that immunity, that's that support they need, medicinal support they need to protect themselves. They are always strong to fight. Their body is already safeguarded, proved, disease proved, viral proved, bacteria proved that they hardly contact it. Unless you allow that particular infection to enter into them before you start. That one is now treatment. You're not treating. But if you are using it to boost their immunity, they will hardly contact any disease or any infection at all. That's what we are talking about here. They have antiviral properties that can help you to safeguard your poultry and livestock birds from gomboro, that is infectious brucell disease, and Newcastle disease. It can at same time protect your poultry birds from neem. Is a very good element. It has very good chemical that will help in any breathing, anything that has to do with their breathing. Short, good. It clears their breathing side. It clears everything that nostril side, and they have free flow of air. So you hardly have CROD if you are using these particular two major extracts I'm presenting to you this evening. We know that we have many of them which are going to treat over 300 of them, but these two I've started with them, and I will make sure I complete each and every one of them properly well for you to understand them. And that one is like fowl cholera. This neem, this moringa and neem plants, both the seed, both the leaf, and the oil can fight against fowl cholera totally. It at the same time help them during the stressful period. If you give it to them, most especially this afternoon time, that's most of people are complaining. This is a very good leaf for you to give. Most especially, many people are complaining of their broiler having CRD now. Some say their broiler is just dozing like toad. This is what you're supposed to use for them now to fight against this cold, because between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. in major cities, especially in Nigerian cities, you witness cold this time in the night. So if your birds are out there, before I end this particular section, please listen to me carefully. I'm going to give you advice on what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to say it in between this particular topic right now. So what is the dosage for this? What is the dosage for this? Assuming you gather this and dry it. Assuming you gather it and dry it, see it here. You dry it completely well. And you have this wooden hand or blender and blend it properly well. You need 100 to 200 milligram for each 2 liter of water. Each 2 liter of water. Of which, if you have 10 liters, are you getting me now? 100 milligram to 200 milligram. Or you want to use it in your feed, you can as well at the same time mix it with the feed. Maybe 100 milligram to 25 kg of feed. If you want to mix it with feed. If you want to mix it with water, 100 milligram to 10 liters of water, and serve to your poultry birds. You can see it. If you want to mix it with feed, 100 milligram to 200 milligram, 100 to 200 milligram is enough for 25 kg of feed. Just mix it with the feed and serve to your poultry birds. They will eat and they will be healthy. You don't want to go into liquid form. You want to use it and add in your feed. Always make sure you serve it in your feed continuously. You are going complete organic. You want to use it in their water, it's also good. You can still use the extract or even the seed which is properly grinded, crushed to powder. You can use it to serve them also in drinking water. But let it not exceed 200 milligram. Then if it is for the feed, 100 milligram to 200 milligram, pay 25 kg of. And make sure that if you are using this, the dried one, let it be air dried, not sun dried. See, air dried, it will still remain green, you can see. But if it is sun dried, the sun will remove most of the medicinal value of it, and the sun will dry it off and leave maybe few or little that will not be effective again. Most of the times you say, I have used it and it's not working. So this is very good. If your broiler have paralysis, you have leg problem in your broiler, this particular moringa seed and moringa leaf is very good for you. Administer it, use the extract. How do you do it? Make sure you blend the leaf. Blend the leaf, or use hand to make sure, before you start, make sure you wash it properly well, so that it will not in this in means of curing, you are now acquiring under very bad bacteria that will fight your poultry birds. Make sure you wash it properly well with water, rinse it properly well, then squeeze out its juice. Use the juice, handful of it, maybe just like 100 milligram also. If it's not enough, depending on the number of birds you have, you can add more, but don't add more than 100 to 200 milligram. Should not be more than 200 milligram for 10 liters of water. Serve them. If possible, you can even keep them. Make sure you starve them of water for some time. That will enable them to drink very well and faster. Then you can now serve them the main water. Continue in that manner for 5 to 7 days. You will see that everything in their track will clear away, and they have clean droppings. The droppings that will not be offensive or that will not smell at all. This is what I'm telling you. E. coli, bacterial infections, you have coccidiosis, salmonella, diarrhea, water droppings in your poultry. This will take care of them. And that one, please, for those of you that will come back and later and start asking me a question, what I've treated here, you have in this particular, you have videos listed. You go to the videos, you see the topic. Before I start this particular live now, I have already listed the what, the topic, and explain it properly well. If you go to my video list, check the video itself, check the title of that video. If it is something you need to watch, you watch it to the end. Everything about it is inside there. Don't come, you not understand. Don't expect me to start treating what I've already taken my time, my data, and energy to treat. Go there and watch it from beginning to the end. It's only when you do not understand one particular topic, or not even the complete topic, maybe there is something that you misunderstood within the video. You now ask for me to explain for you. Not that you should come and ask you, please develop formula for me. Am I your staff? Are you paying me? Develop formula, a feed formula for me. When I have already written a book that's over 500 pages, you go there and buy the book. All this is money. You are using this thing to get money. You have to spend money for it. I spent money before I acquired the knowledge. I was not born with this knowledge. I spent money to get them. You read it. Your poultry base is for you to make money, and you can't make money if you don't have anything off head. You continue having issues. You continue falling from one disease to another disease. They will be, you spend the whole money on drugs, and at the same time you sell the poultry base, and they will not give you that result. But when you acquire enough knowledge, you become grounded. Like for me now, there is no sickness. Most of the times, I even want my poultry to have sickness so that I will get more knowledge on it. There's no sickness that I will not be able to handle. They will not even fall sick. I hardly lose birds because I have acquired the knowledge before I go into the business. And as I go into the business, I didn't just fold my hands like this. I continue working on myself daily, every minute. You don't just come, you have your business that will give you money, and you just expect me every morning. I will call me on phone in the night, call me in the morning, I will answer you, and you're not contributing anything for me, you're not paying me, you're not buying data for me, you're not even doing anything for me. Even the books I wrote and placed online for you to buy, you don't even buy it. You continue for me to explain the things inside that book. Now, let's go into the neem seed. Neem seed in protein. It helps for growth and body development of the livestock animal. It has very healthy fat that provides energy and support the nutrient absorptions in poultry and livestock beds. It's very good source of fiber. That is, fiber aids in digestion. It helps in digestion of food and oxidation of the nutrient. It has antioxidants which combat oxidation stress. All those stress they used to have, most of the time after feeding, you see they opening their mouth to breathe. It's this particular neem seed, which I've shown you here. We do that. We help you in that. It has mineral, it has calcium, it has magnesium, it has phosphorus, it has iron, it has sodium, it has copper, it has selenium. All these are in the neem seed. It can fight bacteria, fungi, inflammatory and general immune support in poultry beds. So use it, fortify your poultry beds. You hardly spend that money. That money you use to buy all those medications, you use it and do what? Provide very good balanced nutrition for them. That is what it's all about. That will help you to provide a very good solid feed for them to eat and gain energy. Another one is this oil. Let me talk about this neem oil, which I promised you before I close for today. This neem oil is very good. See the seed here now. You can see this. If this seed is dried, completely dried, I have seen it. If this seed is completely dried, With once you crush it, machine can squeeze out the oil. The same way they squeeze out oil from groundnut, peanut, the same way they squeeze out oil from soya, which you use as soya oil. The same way they squeeze oil from vegetable, which they call vegetable oil. The same way they squeeze oil from turkey, which they call turkey oil, or chicken oil, whatever oil it is called. This is the same way they get oil from this particular seed. I'm telling you here. The oil is very, very good and it has very strong medicinal value. That's why I want to treat it exceptionally from moringa seed. This has microbial properties. This particular seed here, moringa seed, has microbial properties. Let me show you again. Don't know whether you're seeing it. You see it? It has microbial properties. It fights bacteria. It has antifungal. It has antiseptics. This is external infections. It fights against it. It has anti-insecticides properties, which means the oil can be used to disinfect your poultry house. In fact, if you like all these people that sells meat and other things, if you drop the oil on the table, you will hardly see any fly around you. You can use the oil to chase away flies, insects. It can help to disinfect the whole area for you. It is insect repellent, in short. If you drop the oil, the insect hardly come there. If you can use it to cleanse the body of your poultry bird, drop the oil on their body, you hardly see any lice, assuming your poultry bird is having lice. Or you can even use the oil in their water. Use the oil in their water. Once they eat it, the sweat will come out and this thing will smell it, and some of them will just either they go off or they run away from the body. It can be used to cleanse the body of livestock animals, like even the domestic birds. It can be used to domestic birds, domestic animals, or the pets, any of them that have any skin infections. It can help. Anyone that has injury, maybe fly is disturbing them, just drop that oil there. The flies will not come there again, and very soon you see the wound healing. It can fight parasites. That's endoparasite. That is the worm inside their body. It can as well fight the worm on their skin. You can see the effect now. So what do? 1 meal to 2 liters of water. 1 meal. If you are using the oil, if you are able to extract this oil from here, you can use 1 meal of it. You know what? If you use this syringe, 1 meal of it to 2 liters of water, drop it there and give it to them to drink. The sweat gland, the disease will just run away. It will destroy the internal worms in their system. They will just drop it out. You see them becoming free, and their system will be free to absorb the feed you are giving to them. If livestock birds are not healthy, all the food you are giving to them will not be converted at all. So that is why it's always good to use all these extracts to keep them healthy. Please, if you are going organic, let me tell you what you do. Once you buy your day-old birds, your day-old birds arrives. The first thing you do is use organic vitamin and anti-stress and give to them. I've discussed about it here. This banana and banana flour and plantain flour are good sources of vitamins and anti-stress for poultry birds. Slice it into the pot, boil it very well, and wait for them before the arrival of the birds. After boil it, allow it to cool. Once it is cooled, serve it to your poultry birds on arrival. You can do this in 2 days time, and before you stop. After stopping, you now continue with either scent leaf and bitter leaf, or other extracts I have taught you, or I'm still going to teach you. That's how you continue. After 3 days, you stop. Maybe the next week again, you continue again. If you continue in that manner, you will hardly have any infection. You hardly have any reason to vaccinate your birds again. These extracts serve as an immune booster to your poultry birds. They are now strong and fortified, highly fortified against any infection, any bacteria, both microbial, both bacteria, both viral, and all of them, both fungi. They are all fortified. You even hardly see CROD. You hardly see any infection at all. This is the reason why organic is also good, and it is cheaper in the sense that you can even get them free from people. From your neighbors, you can get them free. But if it is a synthetic medication, which market will you go and buy a sachet of medication, and they will say they will give it to you free? It is difficult, if not impossible. Can you see it now? So that's why they are very, very good. And this thing I want to discuss here, it's the feed, poultry feed. Before I conclude this particular section, let me do a general revision. Moringa leaf treated, moringa seed treated, moringa oil treated, their vitamin content treated, mineral content treated, medicinal content treated. The infections and diseases they can cure, or they can manage, or they can handle, treated in poultry and livestock. And at the same time, the dosage and administration, how to administer them, also treated. I hope that one is agreed. Second one, neem leaf treated. How to preserve it for future use. Most especially, this is a time they will start withering. The leaves will start withering wherever they are, unless the one that are planted on the riverside that always have water. That one is a different thing. But the ones that on a very dry area, the leaf will do what? Wither within this period of time. If they are in your compound, you will sweep, and get tired, because the leaf will be falling and doing what? Giving you job on daily basis. So most people this time cut the leaves off, because this is the time they will wither and cause a lot of job for them. So now you can go and get it, dry it. That is dry inside the house, not on the sun. After drying it, it will still maintain its medicinal value. Preserve it. Now, anytime you want to use it, crush it to powder, mix it with their feed or water, and serve to them. Now, I've talked about the seed itself, which is this one also. And the seed is what I've given you right now. What they can do. They can fight bacteria. They are antiparasites, insecticides, antifungal, and other infections. They can be used also to do what? Preserve your poultry pen from having odor, offensive odor, so that your neighbors will not be fighting you. It's very good in that also. It also has, the oil itself has very strong healthy fat that can be used in feed formulation. See the reasons why I said you cannot do without them also. Also talk about how you can use them in feed, how you can use them to treat your poultry birds, and how you can use it to boost the immunity of your poultry birds. If your poultry birds have all these minerals, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, copper, selenium, potassium, and rest of them, have vitamin A, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B7, vitamin C, ascorbic acid, have vitamin E and vitamin K. You see that all these vitamins are for the well-being of your poultry bird. It fortifies them from every attack, from every infection at all. They are properly guided and they are properly secured. You see why I say that you cannot avoid them in poultry and livestock. If any one of you note that you need protein, you need fiber, you need metabolizable energy, you need vitamins, you need minerals. In minerals, you need both potassium, you need calcium, you need iron, you need phosphorus, and the rest of them for the body structure, for the muscle formation, for the bone, and for egg. For instance, if you are in egg-laying birds. Now, let me use the remaining time, few minutes, to describe bone as a source of calcium. Bone as a source of calcium to livestock and poultry birds. How the structure of bone, what bone supplies, and how to preserve it. Now let me show you. This is bone here. This is cow bone. You can see it. You are seeing it. This is cow bone. Now, how do you prepare this bone for poultry feed formation? You don't just use this bone and feed your livestock. They cannot eat it. You can't just carry this bone and crush it. This bone can hardly be crushed. You see it, as you're seeing it here, can hardly be crushed. Remember what I said, how to process bone in poultry feed formulation. You can see this bone now. You are seeing it here. Are you seeing it? It's a cow bone. If you want to process this particular bone, what do you do? Now watch this. You gather them, the quantity you want. Don't measure it first. Gather all the quantity, assuming it is in this format. You gather maybe 100 or 1,000 or 20 or 50, depending on the feed you want to formulate. Gather all of them together. Place it in a very solid area, well cemented floor. Now, what do? Gather all of them, use paper, set them on fire. Fire will burn out all the whole fat. All the whole fat in this bone will go off, because this contains high fat. And the fat, you know how fat burns when you set it ablaze. This bone will burn completely. All the whole fat will go off. Once the fat goes off, you are no more seeing this again. Can you see it? You can see the fat, the oil part of it here. This oil is burnt out. What you'll be seeing now is this. Let me show you. This one is gone now. After burning it, see what you see. Are you seeing how the bone looks like now? This is the bone. This is the main source of calcium for your poultry bed. Are you seeing it? See the other one I touched. You can see the oil. My hand is oily now. You can see my hand looks like chalk now. It looks like chalk. Let me see whether I can. You can see it. It looks like chalk. This is well prepared bone. This one has been processed. Once you prepare it, after preparing it in this format, you will now set it for crushing. Set it for crushing. You crush this completely. It is crushed completely to powder format, because the animals cannot. You can see that fatty area. You can see how it is now. Have you seen it now? You can see that fatty area. Have you seen how it turns now? You can see it here now. You can see how it is now. Have you seen it? You see it here. See how it is here. You can see the difference now. Here the fat has gone out. Here the fat has gone out. Here you can see here you see what is left now. This one will be crushed to powder level. Please permit me. Let me get little quantity of the crushed one for you, so that you see how it is. See it here. This is. Let me give you the crushed one now. Okay, now you can see it now. See the crushed one. Are you seeing it? This is the crushed one. Are you seeing the crushed? Are you seeing it? It's now in dusty format. This is the same bone. See the process from this stage. After setting it ablaze and it burns completely, all the fat goes. It remains the calcium and protein which is left in it. It turns to this. Are you seeing it? Turns to this. From here now, we set it in our machine. The machine is called crusher or pulverizer. This crusher is what crushes to this powder level. You can see it here. Are you seeing it? You see it? See how it is now. You see it now. This is the last stage of it. This is the one now where you have the calcium. This is where you have the protein also. In this particular one, this is where you have it. It has almost zero fat because it has been burned. It looks like ordinary sand now. You can see it now. This is the bone meal we're talking about. Let me come back again. From the animal that is slaughtered, you get the bone. After getting this bone, you gather them together, you set it ablaze, burn it completely well. All the fat is gone. It burns very well because the fire will be going up. Please burn it in a way it will not cause fire hazard in your area, please. Set it in a very lonely place and burn it properly well. After burning it, you get all this. You see what you get? Like chalk. Looks like chalk. From there, you now set it to a machine and crush it. After crushing it, this is what you get. You see it here. This is the bone. This bone contains calcium, contains protein, but there is no fat in it. This is a source of calcium to livestock and your poultry birds. I think I have been able to do enough in this particular section. Please do share this to your groups and platforms. Let other farmers gain this same knowledge you have gathered here. What you help and do now, I've taken my time to do this for you free of charge. Please share this to other platforms so that others will get it. Copy the link and share it to your different groups you belong, to your friends and to your neighbors. We end it here so that others will join. I don't want us to mix any section of this. You still have time to rewatch this again. Watch and watch many times. You have other videos also. Go through the videos and bye. And may God bless you for now. Till then, bye bye for now.